Thanks for tuning in to Proline TV for this live Thursday horse racing show as we preview tonight's members only two-race preview as we talk both Saratoga and Del Mar later this evening. That'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern. Again, members only. We're going to show you how to join in case you don't know how to do that. Later tonight, we're going to talk, first of all, about race number 9 at Saratoga, and that is going to be the Lake George. It's a Grade 3 stakes race. And then we're going to talk Del Mar for the first time this season. It's the Bing Crosby, a Grade 1 race out west. Now, the race that we're going to talk about right here is going to also be at Saratoga. Matter of fact, this race is going to be following the race that we do tonight. Tonight's race will be at 9. It'll be the 9th race at Saratoga. This one is the 10th race at Saratoga, the Jim Dandy. So we're going to get to that in just a couple of seconds, but I wanted to show you, first of all, in case you have yet to join, this is how it's done. It's real simple. Take one of our shows here. Right now, you're watching a show. Hopefully it's this one. And you see this join button on the bottom of the screen. So you just click the join button and this box pops open. It gives you two choices, a win bet tier, which is $2 a month, or a exacta box tier, which is $4 a month. So it's 2 shows every 4 weeks or every show. Every time we do a show, which is $4 a month, once a week, you get to see everything. And that's it. That's like one of the main differences. The other difference as we move over to the exacta, the double tier, is that you get to be in polls. So that, of course, is something that could be of interest to you, especially because of what's going on this show. Whenever we get Jeff on board, Jeff Hockman, a handicapper for Playbook Sports, then Jeff will handicap a race for you and you can decide which race to handicap. Just keep in mind, we have to get those polls in no later than 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern time every Thursday. So that's the can't do it after 9 o'clock. So once it's 9 o'clock, if you go on there and you try to put your choice in at 9:30, 10 o'clock, just so you know, it will not count. We'll already have made up our minds because we have to, of course, Jeff has to prep for the race and all that kind of stuff. All right. So just keep that in mind. We didn't, part of the reason we couldn't get it in this week, and again, Jeff's schedule, but also the fact that we really had to wait pretty long to find out what was going on here with Del Mar. So it made things a little bit late for us. Okay. Matter of fact, we didn't even get the odds out until just about an hour ago. Okay. So now let's set us up for taking a look at the big race of the weekend. And this is the Jim Dandy. Now, the Bing Crosby obviously is also co-big race. The difference is Saratoga, the Jim Dandy, has Sovereignty. So Sovereignty right now has to be the horse of the year. And so he wants to keep this winning going along with journalism. And then they'll meet up again at the Breeders' Cup, and that'll be awesome. So Sovereignty, though, is naturally the heavy favorite at 2-5. And, look, we weren't going to do this race. We weren't going to say, hey, join our membership and let's do a 5-horse field with Sovereignty. Come on. I think I could get any monkey or maybe even a pigeon down the street to come hang out with me and, pick the race here. It's pretty easy. Okay, so Sovereignty doesn't mean it's going to win. It's horse racing. Anything can happen, and it's Saratoga. So we know what happens to favorites at Saratoga. So we get all that. But Sovereignty is just such a special horse, clearly an awesome horse. It would have been great to see Sovereignty had a shot at the Triple Crown because he's that good. Didn't get it. So these are the consolations. Now, the other thing that stinks is the fact that we don't have like 7, 8, 9, 10 horses in the field. Maybe the odds would be a little bit better. And I'm not just saying for Sovereignty, but for parlays and so forth. I mean, for exactas and so forth. And so not being able to get that kind of also stinks. Look, I got nothing else to say about Sovereignty other than just, look, the line has just been perfect. The line is just, the sheet number line is as good as you want to see it. He keeps getting better and better each time out. There's no reason to think he's going to have a clunker in a 5-horse race. There just isn't. Okay, so let's say that's what happens and he goes out and wins. Even though Jeff, by the way, says, you know what, I'm going to take a chance with Baeza. That's what he's going to do, win place. I think he's going to go all board Baeza. And I can see why. Baeza, as you can see here, is the second choice. He's at 3-1. And he's the second choice for a good reason. His last 3 races were all 7s as far as the sheet lines are concerned, better than any horse here except Sovereignty. He also went toe-to-toe in the 2 big races with Sovereignty in the Derby and the Belmont Stakes, finishing 3rd in both because Journalism was in the race, finishing 2nd. Take him out, and you're like, hey, there's Baeza in 2nd. And okay, if something slips as far as Sovereignty is concerned, then here's Baeza to pick up the win. All right, totally understandable. But if we're trying to make some money here and we're trying to do it without going crazy, then what I want to try to do is take a look at the other 3 horses in the field, Sandman, Moplex, and Hill Road. And because I don't see a big difference in the 3 horses, it's not like Sandman, even though you're getting 6-1, he's the 3rd choice. He's not that much better than the other 2 when you take a look at the sheets, okay? Sandman has 1 race in single digits. That was his last race, so that's a good sign, right? Yeah, it should be. It was an 8. The only time he had an 8, great, good sign. He's got an Arkansas Derby win. That's nice. He's a closer. Keep that in mind. There's another closer in this race that we'll talk about. But fact is, Sandman is a good horse. He's a decent horse, but he's also a horse that has been overbet quite a bit. And because of that, there's a lot of people who have probably wagered on Sandman who have been disappointed, except for the Arkansas Derby. All right, so here are the other 2. To me, that would make the most sense if you want to try to make a little bit of money. So what I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at, all right, what can I get for 5-4, 5-3 exactas? All right, starting with 5-4 Hill Road. So you're getting 12-1 right now on the morning line. You've got Brown and Irad Ortiz Jr., which is the best combo in this race. So that's good. You've got a horse that is getting better each time out. Now, he's not making the strides that the other horses are, because the other horses, matter of fact, every horse in this field except for Hill Road have single digits. Okay. But that doesn't mean Hill Road won't have a single digit on Saturday, because the line is saying that that's what's going to happen. He's going to keep getting better. And if he keeps getting better, then he should have a 9, an 8, or maybe even a 7. Who knows, right? When you have Chad Brown and Irad Ortiz Jr. out there, who knows? This is the other closer. He closed to win the Peter Pan. All right, so now the Arkansas Derby is a little bit bigger of a race, so you got that for Sandman. But Hill Road's also got a nice win, a grade 3 win in the Peter Pan. Also, of course, a race that just happened to be won in New York. He comes back at Saratoga and has only started Saratoga in the Belmont and runs a disappointing 5th. Once again, pretty much expected when you've got horses like Sovereignty and Journalism in there, and we all expected Baeza to be there as he was, finishing 3rd to the 2 top horses. Keep this in mind. Hill Road did race in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Stakes race, and that was a 3rd place finish, close to a 3rd, and that's not bad. And he ran a 13 in that race at Del Mar. So here we've got a horse that we are clearly trying to find a way where we can talk ourselves into betting in an exacta to pull that money up a little bit better. That's the thing that I'm looking at. If I see Sovereignty 5-1, which I think, let's just say we get 5-1 is $3 and 5-2 is $6. Okay. But I can get 5-4 at $9, $10, maybe. And then 5-3 the same. I might go that route. I just might say, you know what? Let's go that route. Also taking a look at Moplex, the 10-1 shot, coming off pairs. Okay. He's coming up 8s, April and June. Has a grade 3 win coming in from the Ohio Derby. So if we look at Sandman, we've got, and again, I'm only talking about the others outside of Baeza, because look, more than likely what's going to happen in a 5-horse field, Sovereignty is going to beat Baeza. All right. Everybody knows this, not rocket science, but Baeza has more of a chance to slip than Sovereignty because Sovereignty is a much better horse. And in that case, we have to hope that we can say, well, who can move up, take that spot, And that's why even Moplex coming off the back-to-back 8s at least has 2 of them compared to Sandman's 1. All right, so right there, even though Sandman has shown a little bit more over his career, has been a little bit more consistent, 11s, 10s, 8s, and things of that nature. Moplex has been more like 14s and then boom, back-to-back 8s. All right, but I'm okay with, again, 2 for 2 at Saratoga. Let's keep that in mind. He's raced here twice. He's won both. So that's also something that, could help Moplex. Sandman's won a race at Saratoga as well. Hill Road has not coming in off of that 5th place finish at Belmont. So that's just the way I'm going to look at it. I hope the information here will help you out as well. If you have any other questions for me, for John, just let us know. Because even if you just put the questions or comments here, still going to show John, and then John can just comment or respond to your comments accordingly. So there you go. That's what I would do. And but if you're somebody else that likes to bet, everybody has a different strategy of doing things, and you want to do it, like for instance, Jeff wants to take the chance and go with a little bit of an upset. Hey, we talked about that last week with journalism. And then journalism gets this clear path in front of them. And once I saw that clear path in front of them, I knew I was in trouble, because the horse I picked actually did finish in second. And that was a horse that had pretty decent odds. So I came that close for it to hit. I needed journalism. I needed a really good horse, the second best horse of this year, to beat me by that much, or else I would have had it. So that's the same thing I think you got to look at this week and try to see if you can get away with it. Same way. So again, chances are Sovereignty is going to win, but the best bet to make a little cash is for another horse other than Baeza to win, unless you're going to do what Jeff's going to do, go with Baeza to pull off the upset. Again, it almost happened last week, so anything is possible, and we'll see whether or not Jeff hits that, because Baeza has hit 3 7s in a row. Now, what we would like to see is a little bit more forward movement out of Baeza instead of just repeating the same numbers, but still the good numbers, better numbers than any other horse in this field except for Sovereignty. So there you go. Later on, we are going to be on the air at 7 o'clock. We're going to talk about, first of all, the race preceding this one, which is the Lake George Stakes. So that's race number 9. It's a turf race. And so the other idea that you can come up with is take a horse out of this race that, let's say if you like someone at 6 to 1, 10 to 1 odds, something like that, go ahead and take the one through the double. I mean, that would be nice, right? To put yourself in a position, because what I try to do in those circumstances, like in an exacta or let's say a trifecta, but exacta, because like if you think of it like a trifecta, when you got a heavy favorite, you got to think of it as, well, I got to have it in my head that the my first place winner, the heavy favorite, is just a win. Okay, so I've got to think like that, meaning that if I've got a trifecta, I got to look at it like it's an exacta. So I got to hit an exacta. I got to hit second, third. I don't have to worry about one. I got to hit an exacta. So it's trifecta, but it's really an exacta. That's the way I got to convince myself of that. And the same thing here with a double. Try to convince yourself of that. Say, I've already got Sovereignty. I got to find. So bottom line is, if I get a 6 to 1 shot or a 10 to 1 shot and I win, then I can actually up that money because I'm adding Sovereignty in it. Because obviously, if you're like a 6 to 1 or a 10 to 1 horse in the 9th race at the Lake George, you're going to pick him to win. But why not just add a little bit more on Sovereignty, or say to yourself, Sovereignty is so good that he's going to win. And he's worth the bet that he's so good that I'm just going to say he's going to win. That's a win bet. So now I'm going all in on the double, race 9 and race 10. And I'm going all in on that one horse to win at decent odds in race 9. And if I hit that, then when the tote comes up and says $15 to win, well, I know that that's going to go to $25 or something because I've got Sovereignty in it. And so I'm going to go. This is a chance for me. That's where you got to look at the positives in these situations. I get a chance for me to increase my earnings in this one race, in this one double. I don't get this very often, this opportunity very often. So this is one of those. So I got to hit the one first in order to cash in the next one. So anyway, that's the way I'll think about it. And then we'll also talk about the race at Del Mar, which will be the Bing Crosby. Now, that's a late night race. Tell you the truth, I don't remember the last time I ever won a late night race. I don't know what it is with those late night ones, but that's going to go off at 9:30 Eastern. So don't forget that. The race at Saratoga goes off normal time, 5 o'clock. So you'll have to wait 4.5 hours after, well, actually, just based on the races that we're going to be covering, you'll have to wait 4.5 hours for the second race to pay off. But the Bing Crosby, it's a good field, as long as nobody scratches, which is getting a little bit annoying lately with these scratches. But it's a 9-horse field, and the morning line favorite is a 3-1 shot. Oh, in the Lake George, how about this? It's an 11-horse field, a 10-horse field. But the 11, who's only going to be a main track only option because it's a turf race, is supposedly even money. I have never seen that before. I'm sure it's happened many times, but I've never seen it before. So that's interesting. That if they go to the main track because of too much wet conditions, got to come off the turf. Go K Cup. All of a sudden, not only enters the race, but enters the race as the favorite, the even money favorite. If it doesn't rain, the favorite of the race is the 5 Classic Q, a 2-1 shot right behind Classic Q, is going to be lined up right beside him in the gate, the 4-horse Lavender Disaster, a 5-2 shot. Okay, so that is going to wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, check us out for our coverage later tonight, members only, and that's for everybody. This is an even Thursday week. That means if you are in the win bet only and you get the races once every 2 weeks, and that means this is the week for you. Okay, so we'll see you later. Don't forget to subscribe here to the channel. And also, if you're just interested in supporting the channel, the very best way you can do that to make sure that you take advantage of it as well is to go ahead and become a member. Become a member. And even though we don't get the 100% of that, because the percentages, some of it does go to YouTube, same thing happens if you just decide that you just want to use the thanks icon on the bottom of the screen because you just want to donate to the channel and you like to see the channel grow, and you can throw $5 in there or something like that. Well, we don't get 100% of it either. So go ahead, why not take something out of it? And if you're going to donate something like that, then donate to the membership, get something out of it, a couple of races that you can get to see us handicap, or maybe 4 for the month. Anyway, we'll see you tonight, hopefully. And otherwise, we'll be back again coming up next week, as usual, every Thursday right here, usually 4 o'clock, setting you up for our Thursday evening members-only show with John Hardoon. So enjoy, everybody, and hopefully we'll see you later on.